Brian, you brought this back to my attention because I honestly forget. This is from the New York Post. FBI documents associate internet slang like, quote, based and, quote, red pill with extremism. Very interesting. What does it mean, though? What does it mean for us?
The red pill essentially is just a very broad, the Matrix, right? When he's like, you could take the blue pill, go back to wake up in your bed. The red pill is I show you how far the rabbit hole goes. It's literally from the movie The Matrix. I don't know if it's older than The Matrix. So basically the red pill would be it was always like a term in the internet space of like, here's the red pill. So it was like, here's the truth. And it was associated with the Mojicon, right? So red pill was picked up, I don't know when, but in the player community, in the pickup artistry, some people would call it womenizing spaces, the player's handbook, The Rational Male, Rollo Tomasi, some of these stuff. This is actually where I got introduced into the red pill. But on the internet, it is mostly associated with the men and women in dating dynamics, which obviously we are now seeing come to a point. There's a lot of videos I see now about men and women getting owned on the internet for being money hungry, and it goes on and on. So yeah, I told David actually before we started filming that there's no coincidence that Andrew Tate was released from prison 2 weeks ago, and this is dropping this week. It's not coincidence. Tate will be on the internet. It'll be that much more easier to censor him. So that's what we need to keep in our mind, that this is not, and this has been in the works a while, and I wouldn't doubt it if they've been slowly infiltrating the red pill spaces and community this entire time, have been infiltrating it the whole time, getting their portals all set up while it was still free and open before the government announced this, because most people on the internet that associate with this space of the internet don't trust the fucking government. So this is really why they don't like the red pill movement. I mean, it was always like a trigger word, but now it's like those content creators and everything else, because the biggest thing about red pill movement is that women only care about your money. So become as rich as you want so that women have to listen to you. I'm not saying I agree with this, but a lot of the red pill gurus on the internet, that's what they tell you, to get jacked and get rich. And as Tate is a great example, he would be like the king of the alpha red pill, right? Those influencers.
Sure, G.
Yeah, and he's independent. He brags about being able to do anything, go anywhere, have all this stuff, and he's encouraging you to fight against the system in the Matrix. Like, why do you think the government likes that? There's promotion because the biggest thing is it doesn't even come off as self-improvement anymore, but because what it really is it's promoting you to self-improve to the level that you don't need help from anybody. The only help that you need is like going to people that are like-minded and building a better business, right?
So that's the premise of what it comes from, though, is basically self. It's just making yourself the best possible version of yourself, which is a positive message, but then somehow down the road it maybe got twisted into womanizing.
Well, yes. I mean, and to be honest, in a fair amount, like, it's very easy, and I know why people do it, and they should to some degree. It's very easy to label red pill as misogynistic, because you're not far off. Like, they're definitely right. There's a lot of things there that is useful starting place. And the biggest thing for me personally that was a starting place was understanding how men and women are different biologically and what we look for in mating, why girls get turned on a certain way different than guys get turned on, and like why biology. We learned about sex ed in high school, but that was just the physiological stuff. It wasn't social dynamics and social dating. Why an ugly guy can still get a hot girlfriend. Like, that stuff is like literally talked about. Game. It's called game. Guys have to learn it. Girls are born with it, right? Like, that's why she gives you the side eye and like.
Well, they're the maybe this is a little extreme way of putting it, but frankly, they're the hunted, right? So.
Yes, no, 100%, and that's why
really know the game, right?
But that's why they should. Like a guy that's worth $1 million can get hosed. Like, literally, a woman. There was just a soccer player, somebody that had the girl they was with. He was coming up, didn't have much. She hid all this money, tried divorcing him and getting money for child support. He had everything in his mom's name because his mom knew that she was just money hungry. You know, so if guys don't know game, if guys don't know how women, because people can lie for a while, man. Like it might take you 2 or 3 years to vet your girlfriend before you think about marrying her. And the thing is guys don't run on the same biological timeline. Like there's so many things. And once again, I've consumed so much of this content, I can distill it, right? And this is, I want to go forward with my own kind of spin on this because there is a lot of toxic shit associated with it. And I'm not saying that it should be extreme because it's not. Because honestly, if you allow feminism to the level that they do, red pill is just the natural opposite to that extreme. So as extreme as feminism can get, the red pill can get just as an extreme. It gets more, you know, they have their extremes, but then there's some shit in the middle that women should vote. Yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing we all agree about, right? The compromise. Well, that's the same. There's a lot in the red pill. Like a guy should be physically attractive. Most women would agree with that. Let's be honest. Women want attractive boyfriends. They want a guy that is fit, that is strong, that is capable of protecting and prevent. Like, why are we fighting?
Well, the thing that's interesting is they all know that, but then they'll all get mad when somebody says it, right? When a man says it, it's like, or toxic masculinity.
Dave,
like,
prime example.
But it's true. These are the things you want, correct?
Yes. A girl bumped into me at the bar. She asked how tall I was. I was like, you know, I'm 5'10" and a half.
Bitch, do your eyes work?
No, well, you know what I was going to say? You know, like in my head, I thought I'd be like, and if I ask you your dress size, I get slapped across the face. But I just played it up because what is it, Dave? It's game. So you just take what she gives. Women sometimes don't know, right? They just say things because they're emotional. Fine. I don't have to get emotional. You know, I'm a logical person. So, 6 feet. I told her, I was like, yeah, with certain shoes on, I'm a little over 6 feet. Isn't that the number you girls like? And she smiled because she knew the game. It's a game. They know it. We have to learn it. And they just assume all guys know it because the guys that they like all know it. And you can stumble your way through it too. Like you don't have to be educated, you know, but I'll tell you, I read a couple books on it, Man and Woman Desire, How to Be a Better Guy, Self-Improve. I've shared my journey. I've come on here with you, David, you know, I've told you I'm reading these people. I'm following this podcaster, Chris Williamson, you know, like Bedros Koulian, the self-improvement journey, like to try to be better. And this all stems from the red pill because after I went through my separation, I wanted to make sure this never happened again. And when I caught the red pill, it was in the early stages about all self-improvement, about the money and muscles and learning game and keeping frame. That's how I can prevent it never happening again, building a more successful family, going further, making more money, getting further in my life. And they're going to label this as an extreme. They're going to censor this. I damn well know that they have infiltrated this community. The extremism that you're probably seeing in the red, and there's also one called black pill. And men going their own way, and you know,
I've heard white pill too.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
But yeah, there's, you know, we got to stop with the pills because it's fucking. There's more pills than genders almost, you know, and it doesn't make it easy. Just because we can identify it doesn't mean it's easy to associate with it. And like the biggest, once again, this is all around red pill, right? Like they've infiltrated this community, and I'm sure most of the extreme shit you see is ran by the government. It's ran by these portals because it's on YouTube. This isn't on Reddit. Red pill's all over the place. It's on YouTube Shorts. It's all over the place. There's a bunch of podcasts about it. There's girls that do it, guys that do it. All ethnicities are doing it. Influencer, like it's all over the place. They've been infiltrated by the government. So some of these guys could be government secret agents that we wouldn't even know about.
Well, we did see that. We talked about that story the other day about the FBI infiltrating, you know, the people in the sea during the January 6th movement and all this. So I don't know. It's not crazy. It's not crazy that they're infiltrating it. I would almost guarantee it.
Yeah, and I would guarantee it mostly because the red pill promotes you separating yourself from any level of control in your life, and whether that's a female, your job, right? They tell you to be an entrepreneur. You don't need a boss. Become the boss. They tell you to don't handle women's shit. You're the man they follow. They also tell you you don't need the government because they're just going to take all your money from you. And they don't want this. They tell you, you know, some of these people are empowering nuclear families if you want children. If you know, they always reference success. Why are we trying to stifle this information from young men that don't have fathers, David? It's almost like they want these young men to keep falling in the system and look for handouts to bail them out. But there's a truth and there's a torch out there burning bright, David. And, you know, Men will see it. True men will see it. You know, this is I've been talking a lot about this lately. I know we're long-winded, but it's important to really push that we need strong men. Like, honestly, I truly believe the women that we see on the internet that are toxic, and you know, I know there's the divorce stories, and sure, court and child support is rigged against guys, sure, but I would say 85% of the problems with women is because of a man. Because weak men, because of bad men, men with no morals, men with no direction, men without legacy minded, men that aren't family oriented, men that come from broken families and don't know it, men that are unhealthy, mentally unhealthy, men that aren't strong, men that are insecure, men that have hurt people, men that have pushed the line. It's men's fault. It's not blaming men. It's that men need to work together. Men need to help men because men are haters to other men that are successful.
Yeah, it's not blaming men. That's just part of you know, being a leader is taking accountability. So, you know,
but we don't have leaders in men, right? Because they didn't have. I never had a dad. I've heard this in my own personal. I never had a dad, so I didn't know how to be a dad. It's like that's not how it works. You know how to be it. You know how to be a good person. Our ancestors gave us this stuff through books and religion and ways of life and idioms. Treat others how you want to be treated. Come on, man. We were given all the knowledge. You're supposed to respect your elders, right? How old is that saying? But we don't have it. It's when I had the kid, dude, it was like biology aligned. My DNA changed, you know, and Jordan Peterson talks about this. Somebody becomes more important than you. It changes you as a person. You have to have ambition. And maybe this is all tied. They don't want this. They don't want you to be successful. I wonder why they label it extreme when Andrew Tate's out of jail. They didn't charge him with a single crime. He was the guru. He was the ideal. He was the one that all the young men want to be. It's not coincidence, people. Dave Ryan, December 1773. Catch us Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern on Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook. David and I will be there. As always, David, I appreciate you for your time. I'll see everybody later.
Probably just Rumble. Make sure you follow us on Rumble. Thanks, everyone.
Soon to be sponsored by Rumble.